Malinaw sa atin ang tumambad na realidad tungkol sa ating mga kabataan ngayon. Ang mga nagda-drop out at mga hindi nakakapagtapos sa junior o senior high school. Ang kalahating milyong bata na nagbabanat na ng buto. Kung tayo ay nagpupundar ng malaki para sa infrastruktura, mas malaki pa ang ipupundar natin para sa ating mga mamamayan.
The Philippines is firm and proactive in its stance against child labor. Our commitment finds its roots in our Constitution, reinforced and given flesh and substance through our ratification of the ILO Convention No. 138 on the minimum age for employment and Convention No. 182 concerning the worst forms of child labor.
With political will, interagency convergence, and grassroots engagement, with the participation of the tripartite partners, progress is possible even in the face of challenging environments.
The National Council Against Child Labor institutionalized through Executive Order No. 92 in 2019 is tasked with upscaling implementation of the Philippine Program Against Child Labor. It is led by the Department of Labor and Employment as chairperson and Department of Social Welfare and Development as co-chairperson, together with other government agencies, representatives from the worker sector, employer sector, non-government organizations, with programs on child labor. The International Labor Organization sits as ex officio member of the Council. At the local level, the regional councils against child labor reflect this structure, serving as localized mechanisms to mainstream and steer programs to address child labor in the communities.
Since its institutionalization, members and partners of the Council established plans and commitments, scaled up efforts, created horizontal and vertical linkages, and relentlessly worked together to address child labor. The Council approved and adopted the PPACL Strategic Framework 2020 to 2022, as well as the NCACL Technical Working Groups and its composition to ensure that progress is effectively monitored.
As part of its global commitment, the Council submitted its action pledge to the Alliance 8.7 Secretariat for the 2021 International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor. In May 2022, the Council supported the Durban Call to Action on the Elimination of Child Labor, adopted during the 5th Global Conference on the Elimination of Child Labor, where governments, employers, workers, civil society, and child representatives united in the call to end child labor. Together with its partners, the Council delivered vital services to profile child laborers and their families, sustained labor inspections and rescue operations, strengthened capacities of implementers, and intensified advocacy to raise awareness.
The elimination of child labor has continued to be mainstreamed in national development plans, ensuring sustained commitment and action for 2023 to 2028. The Philippine Development Plan for 2023 to 2028 aims for zero child labor by 2028 through a holistic approach in addressing child labor, a goal also reflected in our Philippine Labor and Employment Plan for 2023 to 2028.
We have reinforced the Philippine Program Against Child Labor by approving its strategic framework as well as its action plan for 2023 to 2028, with a vision of a child labor-free Philippines. These plans were designed through extensive consultation with stakeholders, including the private sector, academia, development partners, employer sector, worker sector, and non-government organizations. Since 2023, the country has taken bolder steps to sustain efforts and accelerate action toward the elimination of child labor through a range of strategic interventions.
To strengthen advocacy and awareness, the Council is guided by the PPACL Communication Plan, which serves as the blueprint for key messages and strategies, ensuring that all communication and advocacy materials are gender-sensitive and disability-inclusive. Council members and partners regularly conduct advocacy activities across quad media platforms with deliberate efforts to extend their reach to far-flung communities.
We have also engaged with the international community to share with countries on accomplishments, on activities and strategies, challenges, good practices, and innovation adopted to support and ensure the sustainability of mechanisms addressing child labor. Information materials and media guesting are disseminated through print, electronic, broadcast, internet, and outdoor or transit media in various local languages. Information caravans have been conducted focusing on child labor, relevant laws and issuances, services for child laborers and their families, reporting hotlines, advocacy celebrations, and the Batang Malaya campaign, all aimed in fostering social and behavioral change.
Achieving the goal to prevent and eliminate child labor requires continuously strengthening coordination mechanisms and providing adequate resources for concrete programs, projects, and activities. The NCACL intensified its localization to regional councils and other local structures to ensure that programs to address child labor reach children in remote areas.
Members of the NCACL continue to promote and deepen partnership with international development partners with projects to address child labor. Partnerships include Project Against Child Exploitation of the World Vision Development Foundation, Incorporated, Project Arise in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, and Strengthening Freedom of Association and Action Against Child Labor in the Philippines of the International Labor Organization, UNICEF, Government of the Philippines, 9th Country Program, and Project Build Cup and Project Speak of Child Fund, Philippines.
Establishments found employing children are prioritized for inspection to ensure compliance with labor standards and other related policies against child labor, with those found in violation are subjected to appropriate procedure or sanctions. Law enforcement agencies, in coordination with other government agencies, continue to conduct operations combating online sexual abuse, exploitation of children, and trafficking, and other forms of child labor to facilitate rescue from severely abject conditions.
Likewise, the DOLE issues work permits for children below 15 years of age engaged in public entertainment or information to ensure compliance with the law, as well as protect working children from child labor. To intensify program implementation, we have been consistent in the conduct of numerous capacity-building activities for duty bearers and implementers, both at the national and local levels, including local government units, enabling them to gain a clearer understanding of guidelines and procedures for reporting and addressing child labor-related concerns and ensuring the effective delivery of services.
These social protection services are indeed fundamental to prevent and eliminate child labor. Members and partners of the NCACL implemented concrete programs, projects, and activities which reflected a strategic and holistic approach in the delivery of interventions to child laborers, children at risk of child labor, and their families. These interventions were able to locate and identify the children who will be assessed for the provision of necessary services to remove them from child labor through services including livelihood and emergency employment assistance, youth employability programs, employment facilitation services, labor market information services, and skills training focused for parents and older siblings of child laborers. Immediate and holistic support have also been extended at the community level through help desks offering information, education, livelihood support, and other developmental interventions.
To ensure that stakeholders, policymakers, program implementers, and the general public are guided by accurate and updated statistical data on child labor, efforts on knowledge management continue to be strengthened. The Batang Malaya Child Labor Knowledge Sharing System website serves as the primary virtual knowledge sharing platform for information on child labor, as well as venue to report child labor incidents. The Makabata Helpline 1383 has strengthened the child protection reporting system, ensuring prompt response and formal interagency referral of child labor cases, issues, and concerns.
Knowledge management is also supported through the development of modules, research, and other publications that contribute to evidence-based policies and interventions against child labor. The development of a national database on child labor is included in a plan which will serve as the national information system that will ensure proper handling of data, monitoring of profiled child laborers, and help harmonize efforts of different agencies and organizations on interventions to the child laborers and their families.
An equally important component is the conduct of monitoring and evaluation. The International Labor Organization has engaged a consultant to develop the PPACL monitoring and evaluation framework and its accompanying tools. The process included consultations with the NCACL technical working groups, a validation workshop for the proposed framework, and pilot testing of the tools. These activities were undertaken to ensure that the framework will guide the Council in measuring progress under the PPACL, particularly in assessing the effectiveness of strategies, identifying areas of improvement, and recommending measures to achieve the set targets.
And we are actually also pleased to note that the global report on child labor shared to us earlier mentioned the reduction of child labor from 160 million to nearly 138 million. The Philippines, in a modest way, is proud to report that we are part of the reduction from 828,200 in 2022 down to 678,000 in 2023 and to 513,000 in 2024.
Through the collective efforts of the members and partners of the NCACL, we have helped transform the lives of these child laborers and their families. These children were able to experience a childhood free from labor and full of opportunity, harness their full potential, and achieve success.
Tabong pag-profile sa mga child laborers sa Department of Labor and Employment sa among barangay atong July 27, 2021, kami nakahibalo na akong trabaho dili angay sa akong edad. Himo usab kong miyembro sa Madayaw Davao Youth o volunteer sa USAID Opportunity 2.0. Nakaapil akong lola sa tulong panghanap buhay alang sa disadvantaged or displaced workers or TUPAD.
Dahil sa mga binigay na gamit pampuhunan ay nakatulong ito sa araw-araw naming gastusin. Sana po ay marami po kayong matulungan.
Karoon naka-eskwela na ako. Tarong na din ako. Lipahan kayo kung naka-eskwela ko sa STI grade 9. Scholar ng bayan.
In the end, we remain firmly committed to the vision of a child labor-free Philippines and a child labor-free world. As we move toward 2030, the country stands ready to collaborate, share good practices, and contribute actively to global and regional platforms such as Alliance 8.7.